My friend, you do not need to study grammar rules or memorize words. You can get to fluency in English using comprehensible input, the CI method. If you watch through this whole video, understand what I'm saying, follow the message, use the imagery on the screen, you will improve your English and you will acquire, not learn, but acquire subconsciously, not consciously, but subconsciously, a few new words. Now I'm going to provide you or give you some comprehensible input, and I'm actually going to talk about my five biggest passions and loves, okay? There will be some new words here. I'm going to speak just a little faster so that it really pushes your listening and improves your English in the fastest way. That's comprehensible input +1, just so you know. Okay, so my first biggest passion, of course, is music. So music is my biggest love. I've been a drummer for most of my life, okay? So since as long as I can remember, quick little mini story. So music has always been in my blood. Okay, in my blood, as we say, not literally, but metaphorically. I've always loved music, always had it in my DNA, my blood, in my soul. My dad's actually a drummer and a musician. But when I was about, I don't know, 3-4 years old, I was watching a movie called The Naked Gun. The Naked Gun is an amazing movie, American movie. So I was watching that, and there's a scene, sort of halfway into the movie, there's a scene where, you know, like how music is always added, like soundtracks and certain songs are added into movies. The song, dun you shape my nerves and you run on my brain. Dun too much love drives a man insane. You spin my wheel, and water through. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Okay. Well done, girl. Thank you. So that was the first song that I was just blown away by. I was blown away, like, what the fuck? I was just so mesmerized and hypnotized and entranced by that song, like completely entranced by it. So it was just an amazing moment because I was watching it. I remember I was like, yeah, oh my God, I'm like a little kid, like, oh my God. And I was just so engrossed by it as well, engrossed and transfixed and hypnotized. And then I sort of turned to my dad after repeating it like 20 times, just that one scene with that song. And I was just so like, oh my God. And I turned to my dad and I said, Dad, this is my favorite song in the world. Yeah, that's when I knew that my dad knew, and I started to figure out or discover or find or learn that I loved music more than probably most people. So music has always been a big part of my life. And I remember loving that song. I remember just always loving certain songs in movies. So that actually leads to nicely to the next one, which is my second biggest passion, which is movies. So movies kind of goes hand in hand with music. So music is definitely like the number one passion for me, but also movies. I love different styles or different genres of movies as well as music. But I just love with movies, what I love most about movies is, of course, stories. So the storyline through the whole movie is what keeps me gripped, keeps me interested, keeps me gripped into it. Speaking of movies and actors and characters, my favorite, just so you know, my favorite actor is Jim Carrey, or comedian / actor, or comic actor, as we say, is Jim Carrey. Alrighty then, take her now. Bye bye then. If you don't know Jim Carrey, please go and type it on Google right now. Jim Carrey is very amazingly funny, super funny, charismatic. He draws people in. He's charismatic. He has charisma, so he's very charismatic as a person, and also as a performer to watch on screen. So that's movies for you. Some of my favorite movies would be Dumb and Dumber, anything with Jim Carrey. So Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, Ace Ventura, which is where the already then, take her now, bye bye then. That's where that comes from. That's from Ace Ventura. There's two, Pet Detective, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. All of those are some of my favorite movies. One of my other favorite movies, and let me know in the comments section if you've seen this, or you've heard of it, or you recognize, or you are aware of this movie, Men in Black. Men in Black is literally my top 3 best movies or favorite movies of all times, like the ones I love the most. And another one of my top 3-ish or top 5, top 3 movie is, and this will lead perfectly into the next interesting, passion of mine, which is The Shining. So The Shining is one of my all-time favorite movies, and guess what? It's a horror movie. Transitioning into paranormal, so a new word potentially. Paranormal. Paranormal, ghosts, poltergeists. Ghosts are the ones that you see sort of like I can never quite pronounce this word, but the apparition, I think, is pronounced. Forgive me if I've slightly mispronounced that. It's a hard word, but the apparition is kind of like a silhouette, or basically the outline or the shape of the object, of the thing, and that thing is what we call a ghost. So a ghost, and most of you probably know, are aware of what a ghost is in English, but just in case, a ghost is like a something that you see and it's not human. Okay. Then poltergeist is, you don't see it, but what you do is you see its effects, you see what it creates. It's the effect of the energy, the force. Okay, so you don't see poltergeists, but you see what they do to things. For example, a ghost, you would see it, but poltergeist, you just see that. You see what it does. It throws things, it grabs things, it throws like cutlery, knife, fork, spoons, stuff like that. Cutlery, that just means, that's like the group name for anything you use to eat food. Cutlery, they throw things and you just hear noises because they're throwing objects. The poltergeist is throwing objects everywhere. That's what a poltergeist does. So I'm interested. I don't like that, obviously. I don't want a poltergeist in my house, no. But what I do want, or what I do like rather, is, or I should say I'm interested in, is just the idea of a poltergeist. So I do believe in poltergeists and ghosts. Okay, so number 4 is exercise. I like to exercise, I like to work out, I like to basically lift shit, or I like to lift myself, okay? Look at these guns, okay? That's what we say, look at these guns. So look at these guns just means, that just means biceps. So this is the bicep right here, can you see? So not bad with my muscle, yeah. But for me, it's exciting to build muscle, but I'm more excited and more passionate about being healthy. Health, being fit, being strong, really strong, and basically just, living a healthy lifestyle. So I like to run, I like to walk, I like to go on pull-up bars. Yeah, so a pull-up bar is like this long thing here. it sticks to the wall, it attaches to the wall, and I just lift myself up. Okay, I lift myself up using the pull-up bar, and this really builds a lot of muscle. Okay, lot of muscle, and it also builds a lot of strength as well. Okay, so that's basically it with exercise. I love to, work out, keep myself fit and strong and optimal for life, basically. Number 5 on this list, it's languages. I love teaching or coaching languages, but I also love learning or acquiring my own languages. I'm actually in the process of acquiring French, le français, and with acquisition. And I'm also very passionate about creating content for you guys watching right now using Comprehensible Input. So you could also say languages plus Comprehensible Input are, plural, are my number 5 on this list. I started to get really excited about learning. The idea of learning a new language, and French was the obvious choice for me. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to learn French. Something about the sound, the accent, the way they talk, it was just always really sexy for me and really interesting to listen to. And I just thought, how amazing would it be if I could reproduce this, if I could do the same thing and communicate with French people. It would be amazing. And now that I've stumbled upon this CI method, or the CI method, Comprehensible Input, it's just made the whole experience incredibly enjoyable. Before when I first started with French, I had to memorize everything. I was studying the rules. I was watching really boring videos on YouTube, just telling me all the rules. Like, if you learn this over a 2-hour video, you will be fluent. No, I won't. And I wasn't. I tried it for 6 months, didn't work. In fact, it was so bad and so painful, it made me quit for like a year. But when I came back, I accidentally found or stumbled into acquisition or Comprehensible Input. And that has just really heightened or elevated or increased my excitement, my passion for language learning. So I ain't going to be stopping anytime soon with language learning or acquiring. I'm going to continue, and I'm going to try to learn many of those languages. So not just French, but like Greek, Spanish, Italian, Polish, Slovak, many different Japanese, many different languages. And I'm so excited that I've not only got a passion for language learning, but I've also found an incredible method that actually gets you there in the fastest way without having to suffer through the whole thing. No suffering, just pure enjoyment. So speaking of enjoyable, I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, okay? I hope you got enough comprehensible input. I hope you enjoyed this comprehensible input. And if you want to get more of this kind of stuff through comprehensible input, through stories, through interesting facts, through interesting content, meaningful content, then I want you to go down and join our Fluent 180 system. Okay, it's a very affordable price. It's going to be everything you see, kind of like in this video here, times 100. And I would love it if you at least go over, check it out. It will be in the description somewhere here, where you can learn more about the Fluent 180 system. It will provide you all the comprehensible input you need, all the stories. We're also going to train your speaking at the end stage, and we're going to get you to fluency in about 180 days. So it's very exciting. If you are interested, my friend, then yeah, again, just go down and, click the link and check out our Fluent 180 program. It's been great hanging out with you today, and I will see you in the next video. And with that said, make English effortless.